My name's Shannon Pigden. I've travelled here from Australia and I represent Lonedog. That's my home club. What first drew me to kettlebells was being able to train and compete for something that I didn't need to, that could work into my schedule. At the time, my work didn't allow me to play team sports anymore. I still thrived on the challenge of doing a physical pursuit that led me somewhere. A friend of mine in Sydney introduced me to this, and I went along, had a bit of a play with it, and I got hooked immediately. Over the years, my biggest influence of the sports have changed a lot. And it used to be the professional and elite lifters that would really show you the potential of what you can do and who you can be. And although I still look towards them for setting goals and trying to ascertain what mountains to climb next, I'm more inspired by the people who attend events like this. So I'm pretty non-traditional in my views of high-level performance, and I probably don't behave in the way that's looked at in a way that most people would seriously take this sport, because a lot of my preparations for a big event like this is more about how to prepare myself mentally and emotionally to take on the stressful loads. And one of the ways that I've found over the last decade of doing this is turning my attention less away from physical preparedness, because we've already done the work. That 6 to 12 months that you do to get here, that's already done. You can't do anything, you can't sharpen that sword anymore in the days leading up to the event. But one thing that we can really do is focus on spending quality time with people that help nurture a de-stressed sort of sensation, so that you're more relaxed when you come up here. Nerves absolutely are present all the time, and trying to manage that anxiety or those sensations of whatever it is, right, that starts to overwhelm you sometimes when you enter a big stage like that. The ritual for me is there's a game plan all the time about how we're going to do this thing, and in your preparations you've always practiced what it is that you want to do on the day, and because you've refined that enough, the best thing about this sport is it's always the same platform, the same goals. The environment's the same. The only thing that's sort of changed, the venue might be slightly different, the music might be slightly different, the crowd, like those things are outside of your control. But the platform itself, the bells, the clock, the judge, all of those things are uniform, and that's very comforting, knowing that when I show up here, it's going to be the same thing that I've prepared for. There's no unknowns and no variables that are going to railroad your plan. So you can just take a breath basically and go, all right, cool, what am I here to do? And once you do it, right, then it just kicks off and you just get amongst it. The kettlebell scene in Australia is actually quite thriving. Over the last decade or so, it's really grown from a very small, unknown and uncompeted sport around the country to there's pretty much lifters in every corner of the country now.